Hi guys and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's Gary here, aka the Plastic Boy. If it's your first time here, welcome. What is going on? Before we start the video, if you could please just click that subscribe button and the bell just so you receive notifications and when I upload a new video. It would mean the world to me, so you can join this little family I have going on here. So if you have seen the title of the video, you know this video is going to be a bit personal and so close to me. I'm going to try to make the story not so long, otherwise we'll be here till 2020. Which is not cute. So I'm gonna start from the beginning so you guys know. I've had so many questions like, how did you come out to your family? How do your family find you wearing makeup because you're black and gay? Blah blah blah. So I thought, you know what, let me just do this tea story time. It's hardly tea, but I guess it's just a part of me I haven't shared on my channel before. So if you want to hear more so obviously, if you want to hear my story and what happened, definitely keep watching. Okay, so where do we begin? You know what? I really... So coming out didn't actually really happen. Well, it did and it didn't. So... as you guys know, I'm from Birmingham. I haven't always lived in London. I lived in Birmingham up until I was about 21, and in Birmingham I lived with my nan because she was kind of like a second mom to me. She's passed away now. She passed away like 5 years ago, but that's a different story. So before I was like truly out and stuff, I actually used to go out into the Birmingham gay scene when I was like 15, 16, 14. And I started really wearing makeup about 15, 16 because I had a really good friend that sort of got me into makeup, so I'd always wear it. But because I lived with my nan, I couldn't really obviously go out in a full beat and show her. So what I would do is when she would go to bed, I would literally sneak out, do my makeup and make sure it was just like hidden in the corner so she wouldn't see. And then when I'd come back and before I'd come home, I'd literally like wipe off my makeup and then literally sneak into the house. But there was one night I snuck out and I literally forgot to hide my makeup in this little drawer that I used to do it in. And my nan must have went in my room because she always used to clean up my room even though she knew I used to sneak out. But I must have been like 16 at this time. And then she found all my makeup and I knew she'd seen it because she had left it there, but you know when you leave something in a certain place and you just wouldn't leave it somewhere else. So she obviously had left something else and I knew that she had seen it. So the next day, it wasn't awkward, but she was just like, oh, like, where are you going out? What's going on? Like, blah, blah, blah. She was like kind of like interrogating me. And I was like, no, well, you know, I was chilling with my friends at a house party. And then she didn't say like she found makeup, but she was like, oh, when are your rooms to clean up your, like, fix your quilt, do blah, blah, blah. And I was like, all right. And she was like, she just kind of sort of gave me a look. But my nan, I swear to God, has always been like number one before she passed away. And obviously she knew, but she never really said anything. And then throughout the years, I'm literally like mumbling because it's so hard to tell this story. And throughout the years, I just got more comfortable and like went downstairs while she was down there wearing makeup. And she literally did not say anything. That's why I rated her. She always knew, but we never had that kind of conversation just because my nan was obviously Jamaican. And if you guys know Jamaican, like obviously black grandparents, black parents, they're not always the most accepting, especially like somewhere like Jamaica where it's very like homophobic. They don't really like gays. I think it's actually illegal to be gay in Jamaica. You obviously like get stoned to death, you can get killed. It's super like still going on. It's just not cute, but whatever. But my nan was always really supportive. She always say to me before I go out, be careful, like just like look who's like following you, just be like streetwise sort of thing. That's why I think I'm very, very streetwise today. Like, you know, touch wood, nothing's ever happened. So oh guys, I'm literally sweating. Literally sweating. Look at this top lip. Look at the top lip. This story's making me... Okay, calm down. Calm down. Okay, so I'm going to keep my fan on just because it's super hot in my room and I don't want to open the window just because, yeah. So, moving on. My nan was really cool with it. She didn't really say anything, just as long as I was safe. So the only person that knew I was really gay is my nan at this time. And I was like 16, 17, just finding myself, you know, going out in Birmingham, going out on the scene, you know, when you're younger, it's really, really popping. And then I remember for my 16th birthday, yeah, it might have been 15, I got like this laptop and it was like one of these really like cheap, like, it wasn't cheap, it was like a HP laptop. And like, you know, when you get a laptop when you're like 15, 16, what's the first thing you do? You go on porn sites. I was using MSN Messenger, I was going on chat rooms, I was going on gaydar chat, all these kind of stuff, just because when you're new to it, you're like, the internet, obviously back then we didn't have broadband, we didn't have all this stuff, so so when you're using the internet babe, who's using the house phone? You couldn't use the house phone when you had dial-up, you know? I used to have AOL. I'm not sure if AOL is still around, but I used to have AOL. I was like browsing porn sites, blah, blah. So I remember like being on like Gaydar chat and like speaking to so many guys. Was I 15 or 16? I'm not sure how old I was, but I might have been 15. But anyway, I was talking to all these guys, and obviously I remember having this like point and shoot camera. It was so cheap. I remember taking like little like naked pictures of myself. I used to send it to these guys, and these guys were like 25, 30. So obviously it was like borderline pedophilia. Borderline pedophilia. Not pedophilia, but you know, it was my consent, but you know. So anyway, I remember like going to bowling with my friends in Chinatown in Birmingham, and my sister came round, and stupid of me, I didn't have a password on this laptop. I'm not sure why, just because no one ever used it. My nan didn't know how to use a laptop, and my mum didn't use a laptop, blah, blah. So anyway, my sister comes round, uses this laptop. I'm not sure what her fast ass was like using my laptop for. I remember being out. I remember the split second. It was 4 o'clock. It was late afternoon. I was in mid-conversation with my friend, and my sister ran me up going, "What the actual fuck is going on?" I'm like, "What's wrong? What's wrong?" She was like, "Gary, what are these pictures of you on your laptop naked, please? Like, what the hell's going on?" She was like, "I'm seeing porn sites. I'm seeing you talking to older guys. What the fuck is going on? Are you gay? Are you gay? What's going on? Like, you're taking pictures of yourself, batty, full out." I'm like... Then I don't even know what the hell was going on. I remember literally, you know when it's like when someone rings you and says someone's dead or something drastic has happened. Like, I didn't know what the fuck was going on. So I was like to my sister, I'm not sure. I just took the pictures. Like, I was making up so many lies, and my sister was like, "Babe, like, I can see the history. I'm not stupid. Why did I not delete my history, please? Why was everything there since I bought the whole laptop?" So anyway, my sister she kind of like went in on me and was just like, "Why are you going on these websites? Like, what the hell is going on? You're talking to all these older guys." At that time, I think around that time when I was on like chat rooms and stuff, like a lot of people were getting kidnapped. I think it might have been around the time where those 2 white girls got kidnapped and, you know, they were killed. So obviously my sister was like super protective. So from then, I just put the phone down, and me and my sister didn't really speak for a while. And then I remember being at home, and she came into my room and she was like, "If you're gay, it's fine, but you need to be careful. You're on these chat rooms. I can see you talking to these people are like, you know, dodgy. You gotta be careful. You can end up getting kidnapped, killed, blah, blah, blah." Then that was fine. Then she was like, "You just need to be careful," because at the time my sister worked in an STD clinic, or, you know, a sexual health clinic, and she was like, "You gotta be careful. I see people walking in and out with all this kind of madness, you know, syphilis, chlamydia, blah, blah, blah." And I was like, for fuck's sake, I'm not having sex with anyone. It was just crazy. It was just crazy. So, God, I'm fucking sweating. Oh my God. Oh. Oh my God. Okay, are we good? Are we good? Okay. So let's continue. So anyway, my sister was totally cool with it. She just wanted me to be safe. My sister was fine. I think my sister knew. She knew. I think she knew. She wasn't shocked, but I just think she knew because, you know, I think sisters know. Me and my sister are quite close, so she just knew. Anywho, from that, my mom, because I lived at my nan's a lot and my mom worked nights and she was a nurse, she didn't really know because me and my mom weren't as close back then. And I remember it must have been when I was like 18, 19. I was like, from then, I was like fully formed. I was going about my business. I was going out. I was partying. You know, I was at uni. And then I remember, I'm not sure how this opportunity came up. Basically, this agent contacted me and was like, "Oh, we're looking for people to be on the show who wear makeup, who are about beauty." And I was like, "Oh, okay, if you want to tell me more." And it was called Beauty and the Beast. And I was like, "Oh, I've heard of this show." I basically knew a girl that had won in it the year before, and she got really bad press. Like, they kind of slated her. She was a bit mean, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, I'm not sure you want to go on this show because I'm not looking to get, like, slapped up on the high street, you know what I mean? So then the guy was like, "It's fine, you know, it's about how you portray yourself. You would meet someone from another country, they'd come over here, they would stay with you, you'd go over to there." So I was like, okay, cool. So at this point, people knew I was gay, but I wasn't like out there like that. People didn't know my business. There was no social media. No, there was no social media. There was just none of it, blah, blah. So then, okay, I've agreed to do this show. So imagine day one of filming, they kind of wanted me to act like I was a model / you know, wanted to be an actor Uptown Model, blah blah. So I can't remember where we were, but we were at this model agency. There might have been called MLT Models, and then they were like, yeah, you're gonna have like this casting meeting, and then you're gonna come outside and blah blah. So imagine I was doing this casting meeting. They were filming me. I was acting cute. I was having a moment. I go outside. This is a completely different story. I go outside, and the guy who I was paired with was outside, and he had this thing called neurofibromatosis, where you get ulcers in your body. I can't remember what it's called to the fullest, but actually, this guy was outside, and I was so shocked. So anyway, I did this show called Beauty and the Beast. I'll link it down below because the episode's on YouTube. It's an hour long. It's really, really good. Just don't look at my eyebrows because when I did this show, it wasn't cute. So anyway, I did this show. He came from Texas. It was this really, really sweet guy called Reggie. And then he stayed with me for a week. Hold on. I actually was in London. I was in London, yeah. So he stayed with me a week in London. And then I went to stay with him for a week in Texas. It was so intense, but it was such an amazing opportunity. And in this show, obviously I had to speak about being gay, blah, 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 doing this. And then when it came on TV, that's basically how my mom found out I was gay. But back then, when it came on TV, my mom actually didn't believe I was gay. She was like, Gary, why are you talking about being gay? Like, what the hell is going on? And I was like... So I came out to her mom basically on TV. She didn't really know. Her friends like sort of found out through then. So I don't think she kind of took it well. I don't think she really believed it. And I think only till this day, she only just kind of like, you know, acknowledges it, because I think to moms, especially my mom, she's so protective of me, and like she's a black mom, and my mom is of a different era. Even though my nan was more cool, even though my nan was like from a different era also, my nan was kind of like with it more than my mom, just because I don't know, my nan was quite young, she was quite, you know. But my mom isn't that with it when it comes to, you know, being down, knowing about the kids, you know, technology, all this kind of stuff. So she found it kind of hard. And I was like, Mom, you know, this is what it is. And obviously, she didn't even know I wore makeup. So the whole show was such a shock to her that we didn't speak for so long. And then she always used to try and speak to me about it, but it was such an awkward conversation. I was always trying to be like, you know, brush it off my shoulder and be like, what the hell? And then during this time, me and my dad didn't really speak just because we just weren't in each other's life that much. And he sort of watched the show and was like, oh my God. Just because we didn't chill as much. I think my dad knew, but I don't think he knew. But my dad was so cool with it. I thought he would have such a problem with it. Because my dad moved to London from when I was young, he was quite open-minded, you know. He had seen the world, he had been around, he had seen different people's of like walks of life. But I think when you're in Birmingham, it's kind of like you're kind of like enclosed in this small space, and if you don't really go to the gay scene or don't really go to that kind of scene, you don't really see different walks of life, like different people of walks of life. Because where I was from, everyone stays in that area, you would see that person, you see that person, you'd see the same people every day unless you were going out. So it was just such a madness, guys. Such a damn madness. Like, coming out might have been... I wouldn't say I had a hard time just because my nan was cool with it, my sister was cool with it, my mum was cool with it to a certain extent, but she didn't really bother me. My dad was super cool with it, my cousins were super cool with it. It was just the whole madness how it happened. My sister found naked pictures on my laptop, my mum found out through TV, my dad found out through TV, my nan found out because I used to wear makeup and go out. It was just crazy. But I know for some people, especially black guys, it's so hard to come out because like people are like, oh, why is it so hard? But I think when you're black and white, to come out to black parents is so hard just because being black, they expect you to be like this manly man, they expect you to be like macho, and I think in black culture it's like not embedded, but it's always seen as like certain black people are like homophobic just because in rap culture it's homophobic and all this kind of like, you know, I can't explain, but I didn't go through a traumatic time as I know some of my friends have, and I just feel like it was just such a madness growing up and like having to hide it and just like going through this kind of like era. But now I'm so comfortable with myself that when I hear stories of other people like with their like parents throwing them out and doing all this kind of madness, it kind of breaks my heart just because if your parents don't accept you for like being who you are, it kind of affects you like mentally and like obviously socially because your family are your core who you go to. So as you know, that was my story anyway. I'd love to know if any of you guys had a hard time coming out. Obviously, if you're gay, lesbian. If you guys have any more questions or want me to do like a more in-depth video, let me know. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it was a bit like snappy and a bit cutty, but let me know in the comments down below. And I shall see you in my next one, guys. Bye.